pace as we've hit timeout. 5:05 to play in our fourth quarter. 74-57. Storm lead the Dream. We'll be back after
defensive capabilities.
And 3 blocks as well. 21 and a career-high 16 rebounds against Phoenix in the season opener. She was held in check on the boards the other night in Minnesota. Just 5 rebounds, but 18 points, 17 and 10 for another double-double. The finish underneath by the Dream. Maite Cazorla, the rookie from Oregon. Now ball hawking Jordan Canada reprising their days in the Pac-12 for Cazorla for WNBA debut.
There's a lot of Pac-12 in the house tonight, Andy.
Now Mercedes Russell, not from the Pac-12. She's a Lady Vol, but she finishes.
And muscling her way inside.
I'll give her half credit, though. She is from Springfield, Oregon, so she's got some Pacific Northwest blood in her. A steal by Canada. Races in on Cazorla, no good. Rebound Coffey, dribbled it right off her foot and down to who else but Howard. 19 and 11 for Natasha Howard. Coffey lines up the 3. And off the miss, it stays with the Dream. We're now 5 of 22 from 3 tonight.
And
there will be better days from long range for the Dream this year.
Yeah, I definitely think so. Some nights, they haven't, some of them have been pretty good shots, to be honest with you. Any rhythm shots, they just haven't hit them. A lot of players on the court right now for Atlanta that don't have a ton of experience or just testing out a different lineup. Is Nikki Collin also preparing for that game tomorrow night against Washington? But the players that are on the court, you use this opportunity, and even in Alex Bentley, to kind of step into that leadership role on the court right now and prove again to the coaches that she can run the offense in the next 3 minutes and 43 seconds.
And it's important to develop depth even early in the season because you never know when you may need it. As the Dream proved last year, where they were still able to march to the Eastern Conference Finals and come so close to meeting the Storm in the WNBA Championship Series, even without Angel McCautry. Peters knocks down both free throws. First points for Haley Peters, now beginning her 3rd season in the WNBA out of Duke. Quick jumper, Lloyd pure again. Nice bounce back for Jewel Lloyd. She's got 12. Lloyd, who made her first WNBA All-Star game a season ago.
Yeah, Seattle, they did a great job of coming in tonight and dictating the pace again. Atlanta, they want around 85 possessions per game. They score on over a point on a possession. So if they're not at least at 85 points, it's not their game plan. It's not the way they want to play. Sitting at 61 right now, I mean, the numbers don't lie.
The shot clock winding down. Howard chases after her own miss and draws the foul on Billings. Well, Natasha Howard has been a pogo stick tonight for the Storm. And with 2:46 to play, we've hit timeout.
Go back to basket, facing up. Different ways to score. And you know what? 0 for 1 from the 3, but she's extending her game out there too. So that's really scary for everybody else in the league.
Also has made all 7 of her free throw attempts. Shot clock winding down. Canada heaves, and I don't think she beat it. Shot clock violation.
And we talked about Atlanta getting on the plane. Well, Seattle, they got to go play Chicago tomorrow. So both teams on a back-to-back. And it's tough. It's a grind. The league's a grind, and you got to appreciate these players coming out and giving maximum effort.
Couple of subs on as well in these closing minutes. Anrielle Howard, the Atlanta native, on the floor for the first time for the Storm. Played collegiately at Mississippi State and Texas A&M. And Marie Gulich back in as well for Atlanta. Also see Courtney Paris, 10th-year pro from Oklahoma. Her first action. As Coffey banks it home. If you're a Storm fan and wondering where is Sammy Whitcomb, who did see some action the other night against Minnesota, She was out tonight because of rest. She also had a very late postseason in France. Didn't rejoin the team until last week. Inside of 2 minutes in the fourth quarter.
How about Alicia Clark and Sammy Whitcomb playing against each other in the final? And their final championship game was a Game 5 on May 23rd, just to give you a little bit of insight. Alicia Clark's team was up 2-0, and the Seattle organization, as much as they want all their players to be successful, probably wanted the 3-game sweep to get the players back, but Sammy's team ended up extending the series to 5 games, and they played right to the very end. Probably happy to be teammates once again.
You know, it wasn't going to be a lot of rest either way. But, yeah, 8 days between the end of her season overseas and the start of her season in the WNBA. Gary Kloppenberg has to be very pleased with his team's effort, particularly on the defensive end, the way they dictated the terms of tempo. And after a 72-61 loss at Minnesota, in which they were held at 36% and could never really find their footing, it was the opposite tonight. Dream led by 12 from Brittany Sykes. He's the Dream's only double-digit scorer. And there will be no comeback in the fourth quarter tonight for Atlanta.
And when you do not have an Angel McCautry on your roster who at least can get you a good look every possession, everybody else has to pick up the slack a little bit more. It can't just be on a Tiffany Hayes or a one other player. And like you said, that's something the Dream just didn't get tonight. They didn't get more balanced scoring from other players.
And Tiffany Hayes, 9 points. Breland had 8 points, but both of those players were held scoreless in the first half. And this will be back-to-back single-digit scoring games for Tiffany Hayes, who last year averaged a career-best 17.2. She only had 2 games all last season, regular season and postseason, in which she was held to single digits. Cazorla, she is a water bug, single-handedly keeping this possession alive as she hunts for her first WNBA points. Tests the waters from long range, and it goes.
And these are some big moments for Maite, because she's going to have to step in for Alex Bentley when she leaves to go play the Eurobasket tournament for Belarus. And so she's got to use these minutes to show her coaches and gain some confidence that she can fill that position as well.
Russell's reverse doesn't fall. Billings rips it away. And Maite Cazorla, also the 5th youngest player in the WNBA. Coffey was out of control. They charge her for the charge.
How about Alicia Clark taking that contact? I'll tell you something. Again, we talk about the WNBA players not getting a whole lot of rest and going and play Alicia Clark in the French League. By the way, her team owned by Tony Parker. Little fun fact for you. But again, doesn't get a whole lot of rest. And then late game, they're up. Still takes the charge, sacrifices her body. I mean, these women are really incredible, and they still do not get the credit they deserve.
Here's Howard. Playing in her hometown, off to Clark. Pops the 3, doesn't fall, rebound to Coffey. Dream fall to 1-1. Storm will improve to 2-1. These teams will meet 2 other times in the regular season. A Storm team that's playing its home games in both Everett and on the campus of the University of Washington while Key Arena is under construction the next 2 off seasons. The Dream certainly knows something about that. Haven't played at Georgia Tech's McCamish Pavilion the last 2 summers, but the Storm